If you've had a loved one pass away and you have been assigned to deal with their belongings, you know how difficult it can be. One reason it's difficult, the main reason, you're grieving. But another reason is because they probably have a lot of stuff. And now you need to figure out what to do with all of their belongings. I am a huge fan of Swedish death cleaning. Swedish death cleaning, to me, it is decluttering with legacy in mind. It's decluttering your belongings so your loved ones are not burdened with the task of taking care of your things when you die. So it's the fact of we take responsibility for our own belongings while we can, so our loved ones don't have to. When we decide to declutter, something has motivated us to do it. Maybe we're tripping over boxes. Maybe we can't get through the door. But for me, a huge motivator is for my kids, because my kids don't want my stuff. I don't want my kids to have to go through a whole lot of things whenever I pass away. We're going to talk about 13 reasons why we should be involved with Swedish death cleaning. If we have not met, I'm Gwen Rutz, and I am here to simplify your life and your legacy. And part of that is through Swedish death cleaning. At the end of this, I want to give a shout out to some of our viewers, and I want to answer one of your questions and then leave you with a word of encouragement. So let's get in now to number one. The first reason why you should Swedish death clean is because people have their own stuff. Think about it. If somebody leaves you a lot of belongings that you have got to go through and find something to do with, you have your own things. Now you're bringing a lot of other things in with your things. And that's what we do essentially when we leave our belongings. Somebody's going to have to absorb, or they're going to have to figure out what to do with them. Do they keep them? If they keep them, where do they put them? Because we all got our own stuff. The second reason is people have their own tastes. Now, that pink crushed velvet sofa that you bought was the hottest thing going. Maybe you even paid a lot of money for it, but your kids might not want it. It might not be their thing. People have their own tastes and they don't want to feel obligated to take our things. Just because we love them doesn't mean that someone else will love them. Number three, people don't have time. When I pass away and my kids have to come and take care of my things, they're going to have to schedule time off of work. If I have just got an abundance of things, how long is it going to take them? Are they going to have to spend vacation time? Are they going to have to come in the evenings? How many weekends is it going to take them? In one of my previous videos, I had a viewer comment and say that it took her 2 years of weekends and vacations going through her parents' belongings. Let's let that motivate us to not do that, because people don't have time. They've got other things to do, and they don't want to be spending their time going through our belongings. Number four, people will get frustrated and confused. It's hard enough for us to figure out what to do with our things, much less somebody walk into our home and look at all of our things and go, oh my goodness, what do I even do with this? Walk into our garage, open that storage unit, walk into that spare bedroom, open those drawers and go, where do I even start? And it can be frustrating and confusing for our loved ones to try to figure out what to do with our things when they may not even know what to do with their own things. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been put in that situation where you have had to deal with somebody's belongings after they pass away? Answer that by putting in the comments A for yes or B for no. And if you find any value in this content, would you consider subscribing and liking? And it's free to you, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Number five, Swedish death cleaning also gives us the opportunity to remember and be grateful. When I was going through our loft, I opened a container. There was a cat in there. Like one of those cats that people would sit on. Now, this will date me for sure. Y'all remember when in the back glass of your car, when we were kids, we could get up in there and we could ride in there and the sun would be on us and it feels real good? Or people might put these fake cats or fake dogs in the back glass of the car. I came home one day and Troy had bought me, I think it was my birthday, and he bought me a fishing pole and this fake cat. And I was so appreciative. It was just the sweetest little cat. It was hard on the bottom of the cat, and then it was all furry. It looked like a real cat, just laying there sunning itself. I've kept that cat for so many years. I found that cat when I was decluttering, and the bottom of the cat, like it was all crumbled. I could shake it. It was just falling apart on the inside. And on one hand, it gave me such fond memories to just think he had gone to, let's see, the little store. It was either Duck Walls or Alco, a little fine and dime kind of thing. And he bought me this little fake cat. I kept it all these years because it just warmed my heart. I thought it was the sweetest thing. Odd. It was very odd and even a little bit creepy sometimes, but it was so sweet. I kept it. But it was falling apart. The thing was just rotten. I had to chunk the cat in the trash. But at the same time, I found a box of watches, some pocket watches. My husband's grandpa's pocket watch and some other watches, that he wants to hand down to our grandsons. Of course, I kept those things. You go through and you just have such fond memories as you're going through your things. It's a huge benefit of Swedish death cleaning. And another benefit of a Swedish death cleaning is you get to choose what happens to your stuff. You can decide who to give it to, which honestly could avoid some conflicts down the road, potentially. But you could choose ahead of time things that are special to you and that you want somebody to have. And you can ask them ahead of time, would you like to have this? I would like to give this to you. Is it something you would like to have? Now, I don't think that we ought to just force our things on people, but we do have things that people would appreciate having. And a thoughtful gesture, the fact that we've thought it through and can choose what happens to our belongings, I think that's a plus. And number 7 is that you can tell the stories. As you go through things, tell the stories to your family. I ran across a newspaper clipping. I kept this newspaper clipping. It was from my senior year of high school. It was a newspaper clipping where I had been voted Miss Congeniality of the Miss Sealing pageant. Now, I'm not a pageant queen, never wore a crown or anything, but I thought it was special to be voted as Miss Congeniality. And so I kept that. And one thing is this, if I get really mean and cranky, my kids can look at that newspaper clipping and know, Mom really was nice at one time. Grandma, she really did used to be sweet. Now she's just old and cranky. Here's proof. I used to be nice. And number 8, you can create new memories. When you share the stories and you talk about things that you had from your grandparents, you create new memories with your family. Swedish death cleaning gives us great opportunities to create new memories. And number 9, you can simplify your life, have less stress and less stuff to manage. That's a huge benefit of Swedish death cleaning. The fact that you can weed out and not have so much stuff around you. So much stuff is just more stuff that we have to manage. Now, I plan to live at least another 50 years. What if I have kept everything I've accumulated up to this point, and then I continue to accumulate for another 30, 40, 50 years? That's a lot of stuff for my family to go through. And it's a lot of stuff for me to just be surrounded with, knowing that new things are going to come in. I would much rather have more space around me and then have the freedom to bring in new things when I so choose. And number 10, a benefit is that our homes are easier to clean and keep tidy because the less stuff that we're having to push around and step over and shove in a drawer or shove in a closet, the easier it is to clean when we have less stuff. And then it's faster when we clean because we have less stuff. Number 11, y'all, this is going to be huge for some of y'all, and that is it will save you money. I looked up the statistics on the storage unit industry. They have brought in the last year, it was $44.3 billion in storage units because we're storing a bunch of stuff. Some of it is stuff we need. Some of it, y'all, we can do without some of this stuff now. Think about how much money that could save you. Okay, if the average storage unit costs $85, I know there's way less, there's way more. Now think about this. If we got more stuff out of our home and out of our garage, out of our shop, then we could get more stuff out of that storage unit and maybe not even need it, and then save that money. What could you do with that extra money that you're spending on that storage unit or two or three? How many storage units? No judgment here, no judgment. I'm just asking, how many storage units do you have if you have a storage unit? I'm really curious about this because I know a lot of people who have storage units. Think about that. It will save you money to just get rid of it. And number 12, the benefit of Swedish death cleaning is that your loved ones will know what to do with your things. They will have peace knowing that what you have is what you valued and what is of value. Now, honestly, not everything that we have is going to be of value to other people, but if it's a value to us, let's keep it. Well, let's enjoy what you have. When we get rid of what we don't enjoy or what's just cluttered to us or what we don't even notice because it's just all blends in because it's just a whole big mass of stuff, then we can really enjoy what we do have, and our family will know that. And they will have more peace when it's time to go through our things because we have already curated our things. And then, most importantly, is number 13, and that is our family will just be able to grieve without frustration and confusion because look, they're going to miss you. They're going to miss us. We don't want to unnecessarily burden them with another thing. We want them to just remember us. And I know this sounds so morbid, doesn't it? But it's not really. It's a gift is what it is, because we're giving them a gift that when that time comes, they can just be with family and remember how awesome we are, right? And just remember the good things because it's going to be tough enough as it is, right? But we can just lessen that for them. Now I want to answer a question from one of our viewers. In one of my videos, I talked about simplifying my budget and how I do love the Every Dollar app, but really I use a notebook. My mama showed me how to budget my finances years and years ago, early, and it's just a notebook. And so someone said, would you show me your notebook? Absolutely. I'm all about simple. This is my budget notebook. It's just a spiral notebook, and this is how I do it. On the first line, I write my balance in my bank account, and then I subtract my tithe, and then I subtract my missions. That's what I give to my church. And then I subtract my electric bill and my water bill and my phone bill. I just go down the list. It's that simple. You're going to have obviously a variety of things in your budget that you subtract, but that's just how you do it. And then you may get to the end of it and go, oh, I still got more things I need to subtract, but I don't have anything to subtract it from. Then we need to do a little bit of managing. When I recommend Dave Ramsey's program, that's a great way to learn how to budget and learn how to manage your money. I think it's fantastic. And so you might try that. And then now let me give a shout out to my special viewer, Sylvia Peterson, and her friends in Alabama, with a special shout out to Jennifer Crawford. I met Jennifer at a women's conference recently in Oklahoma City, and she told me that her mom, Sylvia, watches my channel and has turned her friends on to the channel. And I just want to give you a great big shout out and say thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. It means a lot to me that you watch and enjoy the channel. So thank you all. Yay, Alabama girls. Keep watching. And now let me leave you with the most important thing that I'm telling you today. Psalm 18:25 says, "To the faithful, you show yourself faithful." It's my most quoted scripture because I have seen the faithfulness of God in my own life. He is faithful. When we are faithful to him, he is faithful to us. He always comes through and he never fails. So I thank you so much for watching. Get to that Swedish death cleaning. Now, why don't you take a look at this next video?